The Rivers State Sole Administrator Vice Admiral Ibot Ite Ibas, retired, has asked the Nigerian Bar Association to refund the 300 million naira that was given to them to host the NBA annual convention in Rivers State. The sole administrator faulted the reason NBA gave for relocating the venue of the convention to Enugu, describing it as misleading and uncharitable. He said while the NBA reserved the right to choose a venue for its conference, the association had yet to address the issue of the refund of the hosting right paid by the state government for the conference. The statement partly reads, "While we respect the NBA's right to choose its conference venues, we find it curious that the association, despite its principled position, didn't address the refund of the 300 million already paid by the Rivers State government for the hosting rights of the 2025 conference. If the NBA truly stands on principle, it should demonstrate the same integrity by promptly returning these funds rather than benefiting from a state it now publicly discredits." But however, the Nigerian Bar Association has replied the sole administrator of Rivers State, telling him bluntly that the NBA did not sell their hosting rights to Rivers State and that they will not refund any 300 million naira to him. Now, this is the statement they put out on their official X account. NBA did not sell hosting rights for AGC 2025. The attention of the annual General Conference Planning Committee has been drawn to a statement credited to the administrator of Rivers State to the effect that Rivers State government paid hosting rights for the hosting of the NBA AGC 2025. We wish to clarify that the decision to host the 2025 AGC in Port Harcourt was taken in August 2024 and was not subject of any bidding process or payment of any hosting rights. The host city has no hosting rights, and there is no representation by the NBA that the conference must be held in a choosing city. Traditionally, because of the enormous cost involved in hosting the AGC, NBA Conference Planning Committee approached organizations, agencies of government and state government for support, and the support requested for is unconditional and not tied to hosting rights or any right whatsoever. Recent NBA conferences have been supported by different state governments, corporate organizations, ministries, departments, and agencies whose budgets accommodate corporate social responsibilities and share the same vision with NBA. Such financial supports are in the form of gift, partnership, or sponsorship. The money from Rivers State was a gift and was not tied to any purported hosting right for the NBA AGC. We are committed to delivering a world-class conference to members of the bar and will not be drawn into unnecessary controversy over this issue. The NBA further went on to remind the sole administrator that this money was paid by similar Fubara and not the sole administrator. Therefore, he does not have any right to request for any refund. I love this. I am completely taken aback to the stand that NBA has taken. I am so shocked that NBA could be this bold and defiant to this undemocratic principles that is going on in Rivers State. I am so happy that at least an organization in Nigeria is standing against Bola Ahmed Tinubu tyranny. I am happy that not everyone is buying and kissing the feet of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I am happy that some persons are speaking up. This is courageous from the NBA because it is coming at a time when almost every institution and organizations in Nigeria have been bought over by the federal government. Therefore, it seems that the NBA are not willing to be bought. They have set themselves apart from every other organization, and this is a dent on the image of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the sole administrator in Rivers State. It's a clear message that he is not welcome. He is not recognized at all. You need to understand that the NBA's annual General Conference is one of the most significant gathering of legal professionals in Nigeria. It serves as a platform for lawyers to discuss pressing national issues, exchange ideas, and reinforce their commitment to upholding justice and the rule of law in Nigeria. For many years, the conference has been a symbol of the legal profession role as a conscience of the nation, advocating for fairness and accountability. The 2025 conference was initially scheduled to take place in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, a city that is known for its economic importance due to its oil and gas industry. But however, in a bold and historic move, the NBA decided to shift the event to Enugu, citing the ongoing political crisis in Rivers State as a violation of democratic principles. Of course, the decision was not merely logistical. It was a deliberate and symbolic act of resistance against what the NBA has described as an aberration in governance. By deciding to move the conference to Enugu, the NBA is making a clear statement. It will not lend its platform or prestige to a state where democratic norms are being trampled. The relocation reflects the association's refusal to normalize or endorse actions that undermine the will of the people. It is a call to action for Nigerians to recognize the gravity of the situation in Rivers State and to demand accountability from those involved in this aberration in Rivers State. We must commend the NBA's choice to act decisively because this requires immense courage. You and I all know that if it was the former NBA president, they would not have blinked an eyelid. They would not even condemn what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did in Rivers State. Of course, Afam Osigwe has shown his real color. He has shown that he is a real Igbo man that is not scared of anyone, that will not bow down to his oppressors, even though others decide to bow down. Therefore, we must definitely commend the NBA for this rare courage they have pulled off in this ongoing dictatorial rule of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Nigeria. Rivers State is a key player in Nigeria's economy, and hosting a major event like the NBA conference there would have brought significant attention and revenue to the region. Cancelling this event is not just a protest against the undemocratic removal of Similaye Fubara. It is going to be a huge loss of business revenue in Rivers State. This is how you destroy an economy, where you decide to rule based on your own selfish reasoning, where you don't follow the laid down procedures, where you decide to destroy democratic tenets in a country because you want to become a dictator, because you want to capture every institution in this country. Those of you that were rejoicing when Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed Similaye Fubara, you can see how your state is being affected because you are supporting someone that is bent on destroying Rivers State. Like I said, if it was under the previous NBA president, this would have gone under the radar, but not under Mazi Afam Osigwe leadership. The NBA under his leadership prioritized principles over pragmatism. The NBA under his leadership is demonstrating values such as justice, fairness, and constitutional integrity, which are non-negotiable. This is something we have not seen for a very long time under the NBA leadership. This move set a powerful precedent, showing that professional organizations can and should take a stand when democracy is under threat. It's being reported that 11 governors in PDP, they have taken Bola Ahmed Tinubu to court, so the court can explain to them if Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the constitutional duty to remove Similaye Fubara. Nigeria operates a democracy, and in a democracy, the power of the people to choose their leaders through free and fair election is sacred. When elected officials are habitually removed without legal justification, it erodes the trust that the citizens have in the democratic process. Now that the NBA has shown that they are not in support of what Bola Ahmed Tinubu did in Rivers State, since the National Assembly under Godswill Akpabio has legalized what Bola Ahmed Tinubu did in Rivers State, the court is the final arbiter. The court is the last hope. The court should immediately invalidate and nullify whatsoever Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done in Rivers State. The court should immediately reinstate Similaye Fubara, the deputy Ngozi Udo, as elected governor and deputy governor in Rivers State. Coupled with what the NBA has done so far, this will help to bring back confidence in our institutions. The NBA has equally emphasized that the Constitution does not grant the president the authority to suspend or remove a governor in this manner. Governors, like the president, are elected officials with a mandate from the people, and their removal must follow strict legal procedures, such as impeachment by the state legislature on judicial process. By bypassing these mechanisms and appointing a sole administrator, the federal government has effectively nullified the vote of millions of Rivers residents who choose Fubara as their governor. This action sets a dangerous precedent. If the president can remove a governor in one state without following the law, what will then prevent similar move in other states? The NBA's condemnation of Fubara removal is a defense of the democratic principle that no individual or institution should have the power to override the people's choice without accountability. It is a call to protect the sanctity of elections and the right of Nigerians to be governed by those they have chosen. For us to understand the crisis in Rivers State, we must examine the broader context of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's leadership and the allegations of greed and power consolidation that has been leveled against him. Many Nigerians, including political analysts, civil society groups, and now the NBA, have raised concern that Tinubu's actions reflect a dangerous desire to centralize power and control key regions of the country, particularly those with significant economic and political influence like Rivers State. Rivers State is one of Nigeria's most important economic hubs, contributing a substantial portion of the nation's oil and gas revenue. Control over the state resources and political machinery is highly coveted. Tinubu's declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State is less about addressing security concerns and more about securing political dominance. By removing Fubara and installing a loyalist as sole administrator, Tinubu and his allies, including Nyesom Wike and the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, appear to be tightening their grip on Rivers State resources and influence, and this is all about the 2027 general election. The imposition of a sole administrator in Rivers State bypasses the democratic structures that ensure accountability and representation. It concentrates power in the hands of a single individual, answerable only to the president rather than to the people. This move undermines the federal system, which is designed to give states autonomy and protect them from federal overreach. Tinubu's action is his way of eroding democratic institutions. From manipulating elections to weakening the independence of the judiciary and the legislature, Tinubu's administration is systematically dismantling the checks and balances that keep democracy alive. In Rivers State, the removal of elected officials and the imposition of a sole administrator mirror tactics used by authoritarian regimes to silence opposition and consolidate control. This greed for power threatens to destabilize Nigeria as it fuels resentment, deepens regional tensions, and erodes public trust in governance. The NBA has chosen the path of righteousness. They are upholding the rule of law. They are defending democracy. They are challenging abuse of power. They are protecting the people's voice. They are setting a moral example for everyone. They are highlighting the national issue that we are facing in Nigeria. They are promoting unity. The NBA decision to relocate its conference and condemn the state of emergency is a clarion call for all Nigerians to take a stand. It is an invitation to civil society, religious leaders, students, workers, and ordinary citizens to demand that the government respect the constitution and restore democratic governance in the Rivers State. It is also a challenge to other professional organizations to use their platform to advocate for justice and accountability. The NBA has shown that silence is not an option when democracy is under threat. By refusing to recognize a sole administrator and rejecting a state of emergency, the association is leading by example. Nigerians must rally behind this effort using peaceful means such as protest, advocacy, and dialogue to pressure the government to reverse its action. The restoration of Fubara and Rivers State legislature is not just about one state. It is about preserving the democratic rights of every Nigerian. Indeed, the NBA stand is a beacon of hope in a time of uncertainty. It reminds us that democracy is worth fighting for and that collective action can make a difference. By refusing to stay silent, the NBA has inspired Nigerians to demand accountability, protect their rights, and work towards a future where the will of the people is respected. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.